welcome to Quickie with Ms. B. We're back for another week. Thank you for joining us. Today is Monday. All this week, we're going to talk about those phone calls. You know, the 911 calls, the calls that you get at work, and your all-time favorite calls. Okay, John, today we're going to talk about the 911 emergency calls. And all I can say is I'm glad I'm not one of those people that take these calls because I don't think I couldn't handle it. Thank goodness there's people that can and really appreciate that. Because it ain't me.
Big thank you to all the 911 operators out there.
Yes.
Your patience is appreciated. 911, what's your emergency? My mom won't give me my chocolate milk. How old are you? 29. Where do you live? In Mommy's basement.
Oh, not a good place to be.
It is an emergency.
So I got a couple that I found here on the internet that I thought we would talk about because these are just too funny. So the first one is called New Jeans Problem. Once they had a young woman call 911 around 2 a.m. saying that her legs were turning blue. It turns out that she had worn a new pair of jeans to the club that night.
Oh, and she sweated. Okay. All right. Yeah.
Can you imagine if you're that person, though? You're freaking out. Oh, go take your jeans off when you're done. You're home, get comfortable, take your jeans off, look down, and your legs are blue.
But yeah, you call 911. They're like, so what? Are your legs tingling? No, they feel fine. Okay, do you see any blood anywhere? No, I don't see any blood, just blue.
Swelling? No.
So you called 911 to tell us that you're Smurfette. Ma'am.
Where's Papa Smurf?
Ma'am, sleep it off. Oh, that's too much. Yeah. That's a special sort of person there. Why wouldn't you? Now listen, by the way, folks, there's a lesson in here. Wash your damn clothes before you wear them. They're coming out of all kinds of creepy places and trailers. I mean, you realize you're putting these clothes on going, they came out of a trailer. Where'd it come from? Over there. Where? On that stack of trailers. And where'd that come from? Over there. What? Some third world country where jeans are cheap. Have they got critters over there? Yeah, lots of them. And these people just put them on. They're so tight. They're so perfect. I'm just going to wear them. You're like, really?
Mm-hmm.
I'm a boy, and I know when you get new jeans, you wash all the new jeans together, and then you take and do 2 empty loads afterwards. Why? To get rid of all the gunk. I'm a boy, and I know that.
The next one that I have is an old woman calls in and says that there's 2 guys dressed in blue trying to break in her house and rape her.
Okay.
No,
but hold on. I just an inquiring mind. So there's 2 guys dressed in blue. They're trying to break into the house. So they haven't even gotten the house yet.
No.
But rape is a positive outcome.
Yes.
How old is this woman? How old is this woman?
It doesn't say the age of this woman, but I'm guessing it's quite an older individual.
Either that or she goes, you should see me. I'm absolutely gorgeous. And they're trying to break in, so we know what the outcome is, right?
So they send about 6 cops over to her house, and it turns out it was a gas company reading her gas meter.
See? Oh, my word. They might just want to rob you, okay? They don't necessarily always take the time. I understand bad things happen, and I feel sorry for anybody that happens to. But you can't always assume that. Come on.
And the next one says, I'm Not Crazy is the title. And this one says, I've been in the 911 biz for over 22 years. Well, I'd love to talk to that person. If a caller starts the call with, quote, I swear I'm not crazy, then you need to buckle up for some insanity. So here's the story.
I swear I'm not crazy.
A guy started a call with those words after escaping his apartment and running to the closest 7-Eleven. He swore that his roommates were turning into giant crabs.
Gee, not crazy.
He was going to show the officers that they were currently in giant cocoons transforming. Do crabs transform?
Not crazy. I think crabs hatch out of eggs and then they molt and grow. I don't think they come out of freaking cocoons.
It says, as you might expect, he was tripping balls. What are those?
Those are little. They're little dangly. It's part of the wedding tackle.
His dingle balls? What does it have to do with him hallucinating?
It's just a phrase. He's tripping balls, man.
That's just wrong.
It's just like
people say that I think dingle balls.
It's just like when people say you must be out of your F and A. How does that make any sense? How does that make any sense? or you got to be S-ing me. Really? Has anybody actually done that? It's a phrase like that. It's one of those weird American phrases. That you're welcome, world.
Okay, next one. Oh my goodness, it's a squirrel. That's the title. My mom works as a 911 operator. She got a call one time from a girl in a gym class at the local school. She was in a panic and completely serious by saying there was a squirrel on top of a telephone pole at the school and it wasn't coming down. Did she think the critter was going to commit suicide?
Throw a rock at it. I've tried for 2 hours to talk it down, officer. I think this is it. I think he's going to jump.
Can you imagine that? I don't know what I would do if I came upon somebody standing there staring at a telephone pole. Be like, what are you looking at?
There's a squirrel. I think he's going to do it. I think
he's suicidal.
Well, I'll encourage you later on, not right now, but later on, to go looking for a video, and anybody else, if you want a good laugh, at what a really serious. Now, when I say this, you can be offended if you want to, but I'm sorry, it is true. What a really serious snowflake is like. There is a woman who calls 911. She is incredibly upset. She doesn't get what she wants, so she calls a radio station and tells them they really need to move the deer crossings. Wherever they see the sign deer crossing, the deer are stopping and crossing the street there. But now she says, I don't understand. I drive on the highway, I see deer crossing. Why do they want the deers to cross on the highway? And just as serious, she says, why can't they move the deer crossings to the school walks or something like that, where the traffic is going so much slower? Christine, she was dead serious.
I'd have to go listen to that.
She's so upset. 911 didn't listen to her, so she called a radio station. Why? Because they're going to get it done. She wants the deer crossing moved from the highway and put to where the kids cross for school. That way there's crossing guards. The traffic stops. No more deer get hit because they're always putting the deer crossings on the highway. Yes.
And on that note, I'm going to go see if I can find a deer crossing. Welcome back, everybody. You're listening to A Quickie with Ms. B. I'm Ms. B. If you missed the first half of the episode, please go back and check it out. We're talking about those wonderful 911 calls that make you go, huh?
There's a squirrel going to kill himself. And you're around children, right, ma'am?
Speaking along the lines of deer, this one's called But the Poor Deer. The caller says, a deer just swam across the river behind my house. Operator, okay. Caller, well, I'm worried it might be cold. Operator, well, there's nothing we can do about a deer being cold. Didn't it run off after it swam in the river? Caller, yes. Operator, well, ma'am, it's a wild animal, and I guess it's just going to be fine. Caller, okay.
Have you got a blanket? What, does she call 911 when the birds use the bird bath too? What if it's cold outside? See, people, this is what I mean by special snowflakes, people, because who calls 911 because of deer? How many deer in the history of deer have swam? And 911 has not intervened thus far. There's no government intervention required for deer in the river.
This one was called Crisis. Paramedic here. I had a guy who picked his wart at 3 a.m. and it was bleeding. That is a true story.
He picked a wart, called 911, and it was...
I'm bleeding. Help me.
Oh, my God. Are you serious? You are the winner of the dumb A of the year award, Mr. Wart Picker.
This next one says the title is Woman Calls for an Escort. My mom's a 911 operator. She gets some insanely stupid calls. I remember a few years ago there was a huge pileup involving several cars and fatalities. Clearly this caused miles of traffic jam. The woman called 911 insisting that she get an escort out of the traffic by a trooper because she, quote, had to get home. And it, quote, was ridiculous that she should be stuck like that. Oh, why? And before anybody asks, no, she has no medical conditions unless you count delusions of grandeur as one of them. Whoa. Oh my gosh. That is just not good. Okay, the next one. A guy calls to argue that his crystal meth is legal because he made it with store-bought products and that it's his own hard-earned money.
You see, I've been using my own blend. This is my blend of narcotics, so it's not really like the crystal meth brand. I have a generic like me brand, so it's legal because I paid for it. And like, I made the money selling drugs, which that's the job I have. So I was employed. Okay.
Oh, one can imagine.
And I'm a licensed person because I got my Obamacare.
And the next one is a woman calling to complain that her McDonald's triple thick milkshake isn't thick. Can you imagine calling 911 to complain about the thickness of a milkshake?
I heard one where a guy was drunk and went to McDonald's and he had ordered some of the, back in the day they had 2 for $1 burgers, and he ordered 2 for $1 burgers, but he thought it was cheeseburger day, and it wasn't. It was hamburger day. They would switch. One day it was hamburgers. Yeah, remember that?
I remember that.
He came on hamburger day, but thought it was cheeseburger day. Apparently, he didn't realize that 1 in the morning was the next day. So he got his 6 burgers, He got them, and they didn't have cheese on them. So he wanted cheese on them. She said, no, it's a hamburger day. And he got mad and said, give my money back. She goes, you already ate one. So he went, I'll fix you. And he called 911. Lesson, don't call 911 when you're drunk and you're at the wheel of a car. Apparently, they take that seriously. The lady's like, are you at the drive-thru, sir? Yes. So you're in your car. She went, yes. And you just got back from the club. Yes. I'll send an officer over right now, and we will get this fixed. He went, good. And you could hear him tell the lady, that's you, lady. They come to get you. Well, not exactly.
Not so much.
They arrested the guy for drunk driving. And the cop played a little joke on him even more because there's certain things cops can do that really don't go well. Like they can leave your car in the McDonald's parking lot. And under technicality, guess what? It's going to be towed.
It's going to be towed.
So when you finally get out of jail, since you weren't in an accident or anything, it was just towed, there's a Billy special price that your car has now to get it back. Surprise!
It's going to cost you.
You're a jerk. Surprise! I think you got time for one more.
Okay, last one says he wanted his rock back. They once took a call from a guy who had found an unusual rock on the side of the road. Apparently, he had turned it over where city employees or road workers of some kind. The fellow obviously was quite intoxicated, but now he wanted it back. And this was an emergency. As the rock was obviously a relic of some kind that was worth thousands, as it has an impression of some kind of a bone on the shell of its side.
That there rock worth mega money. Give me my rock back. Somebody give my rock back. It's a conspiracy. They're trying to steal the fossil from the man. Who gave it to him?
Can you imagine? I want my rock back.
Sir, shake your head. You hear that noise? Yeah, that's your rock. We gave it to you yesterday when you were sleeping. It's right there, sir. You got it.
And on that note, I think I'm going to go put some rocks in my garden.